Right off here this morning.
I had the cereal malt beverage renewal for the shortstop. I don't know if you know this. It's just a renewal. They've had it for years out there. If you want to look it over, we can decide on it later. I had some tax roll adjustments.
It's the same renewal, isn't it?
Yes,
I make the
yeah.
motion to approve this renewal.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we approve this renewal. All in favor, say aye.
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 Let's see. Right here. Over here in this area, down here. Thank you.
Anything else right now?
Nothing.
They're recessed if somebody comes in. Jason?
Well, I got a letter here to pass it around to y'all. Last Thursday, I got appointed by the governor to the State Commission on Emergency Planning and Response. It's oversees all the state's disaster planning and, it's kind of messed up because there's 27 people on the commission. I think there's 4 of them that aren't from Wichita or Kansas City. So technically I got appointed to represent EMS for the whole state, but I'm kind of one of the only people that I think on there that is looking out for the interests of rural Kansas and how disasters will affect us. We only had one meeting. It was Friday, the only one I've been to so far. It meets 4 times a year. And I don't know, I think it'll be a good thing for us to make sure that.
Or at least we'll have some
At
representation.
least they know we're out here.
Yeah, we kind of, they kind of know, at least remember we're here. The state doesn't stop at 135.
So you meet how much? How many times a year?
4 times a year.
4 times a year.
Yeah, 2 of them will be right together with the Board of EMS meetings, so it'll, I'll already be there, so it worked out pretty good. But there's a lot of, we talked about radios. There's a subcommittee that's figuring out how to get the radio situation fixed so we can all talk to each other. And some people that work for the state, SRS or something like that. Well, they tried to make it where this radio interoperability committee, they wanted them to start looking at other things like after disaster, how the state offices in Topeka can talk to their people in the field and how they can set up video between Topeka and the field, and somebody had to stand up and say, no, that's not what's most important. And it's kind of going to be I think it's kind of going to be a tug of war a little bit between funding things and make life easier for bureaucrats or funding things to make life easier for people that are there an hour after the big tornado. So anyway, I just want to share that with y'all. The only other thing I really have to say this morning is just kind of to brief y'all on, according to the Dodge City, where we stand with the weather for today, because it has potential to have some significant impacts on us. The latest predictions as of 6 o'clock this morning are that we could potentially have up to or slightly more than an inch of ice tonight and into tomorrow morning. Before, when they were talking about sleet, that's not really that big a deal because it doesn't stick to power lines. But they say that slightly over half an inch of ice is enough to make large tree branches fall and take out power lines. But if we get an inch or more, we're to a point where we can just drop power lines on their own. And I'm sure everybody remembers what happened last year west of here. And so I've been talking to Phil Nesser this morning in the Sheriff's Department, and we're trying to make some plans ahead of time, make sure all our generators work, make sure all our backup systems for the radios are working, so that if we do have this problem happen, we you know, have an idea of what we're gonna do, where we might open the shelter if we had to, things like that.
Tulsa's had one this weekend, didn't he? I thought it was in the news that they was having guys storm down.
Well, we talked to, Joyce's daughter down there yesterday, and
But they
it wasn't
showed all
it
of
wasn't freezing yet down
They
there.
showed news and showed a bunch of people
Yeah.
down to Tulsa and somewhere close to that area. They was having ice on.
Problem is, from what all I've read about the regional stuff, the freezing line basically is right along I-44. From Oklahoma City to Tulsa to Joplin to Springfield. It's right along, almost exactly parallel to the interstate. And if you're a little bit further south, it's just rainy. And if you're a little bit further to the north, that freezing line, you might not have power for 2 weeks. So I called and talked to family in Parsons, and they said they had about a ½ an inch already. But if you go a little further east, between Pittsburgh and Joplin over in there, they had an inch already. No power. Joplin Airport doesn't have power. And they're supposed to get another inch tonight. So I'd really hate to be, I'd hate to be those poor people. And we're kind of, the forecast for us was kind of a change, according to the guy at Dodge, because they thought it'd be cold enough further west where we would just get sleet or snow. And they're really backing off that now.
I seen it earlier this morning, showed that right on the edge of it, where we're supposed to get the snow coming into here and sleet.
It's kind of like the one we had a week ago, or the one we didn't have a week ago. They knew we were right on that line where either we get nothing or we get ice, and we got nothing.
Right.
So I'm kind of hoping tonight that we'll get nothing.
Either that or snow instead of that ice.
Anything but ice. I mean, we've had, I think, four accidents over the weekend and one this morning. I didn't dress like this just for y'all.
I got stamping out fire.
Early wake up call this
What,
morning.
had, what, 5 Stafford County so far this?
Yeah.
One of them right up the county on the curb up there when they're Saturday morning up there.
Yeah, that one. No, just minor injuries so far. Nobody, and I said over the weekend, really, I think we had one Friday, I counted that one in there too. But, minor injuries, nothing real major yet, poles get hit, stuff like that. But, I mean, all bets are off if we get a bunch of ice tonight. So, I just wanna make sure we're watching it, prepared for it.
It's not supposed to come in until tonight, and
They're saying 7 o'clock this evening. So, the biggest problem is that they know we're gonna get about an inch of precipitation. They don't know what form, really. And they're expecting it to come in at 7 o'clock tonight and be out of the area, or change over to, not be out of the area, but change over to snow by 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. And so that gives us a 12-hour window that if we're having freezing rain for 12 hours, you know, here could be some ramifications of that.
It thundered yesterday morning. It's sleeting.
Yeah.
Thunder and sleeting. I thought, boy, it's gonna rain outside.
Yeah,
I'm average catching it then.
I was checking out what was going on in Oklahoma yesterday, and outside of Tulsa, they were getting 50-mile-an-hour winds, marble-sized hail, thunder, and freezing rain.
I'll say.
So,
That's a blend.
so, anyway, I haven't heard anything else about our grant yet, so we're just crossing our fingers on that.
Just wait and see it, huh?
Yep.
All right, thanks.
All right, there you go.
thanks, Jason.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on that. What do you,
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and do the abatements.
I second the motion.
move a second, we approve these tax abatements, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody else got anything right now? No recess.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and change do an administrative change between TSAC and AFLAT.
I'll second the motion.
Been moved second, if we change the list of Aflac, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Whatever that's called.
Is there anything else? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned.